It's time for KinoCheck News. Sylvester Stallone speaks out about Rambo 6, Johnny Depp stars in Beetlejuice 2, and the Star Wars series Lando gets a total revamp. This and much more awaits you in this week's video. Enjoy. News from the Trolls. After the Norwegian monster movie Troll wowed viewers in 2022 and became one of the most popular non-English films of all time, Netflix has now officially greenlit a sequel. Norwegian director Roar Uthaug, who has already demonstrated his talent for great destruction in films like The Wave, seems to have made a lasting impression on Netflix with his monster movie Troll, as the movie was able to convince with phenomenal viewing figures. Accordingly, it should come as no surprise that the streaming service has now announced a sequel. As Variety reports, the sequel has already been ordered. Roar Uthaug will again be in charge of directing and writing the screenplay for the adventure. The director expressed his joy at the announcement and sees it as confirmation that the hard work on the first part was fully paid off. Making Troll was a lifelong dream come true, and the reception our Norwegian movie has received around the world has been unbelievable. Troll 2 could seamlessly follow on from its predecessor. However, it might not be the only troll that is wreaking havoc in the mountains of Norway. After all, the fans are supposed to get their money's worth in terms of spectacle and action. And so it could be that this time, Uthaug will unleash a whole bunch of destructive trolls on beautiful Norway. Either way, we are really looking forward to it. Disney cancels the Lando series. A few months ago, it was announced that the popular gambler would return in his own Star Wars series. However, these plans have been scrapped because instead of a series, a Lando movie is now to be released instead. Due to the flop of Solo: A Star Wars Story, many ideas for planned prequels and spin-off films from the Star Wars universe were put on hold. This also led to the fact that things got quiet around an own Lando adventure with Donald Glover at first. In July of this year, however, the project came back to life as Lando was to be given his own series instead of a film. However, these plans seem to be off the table again, as Steven Glover, who was to direct the series, announced in the podcast Pablo Torre Finds Out, a movie is now planned after all. Whether it will be produced for the big screen or just for the Disney Plus streaming service remains unclear. Similarly, there is no information about a release date. Still, it can be assumed that the Glover brothers will also be responsible for the film and that Donald Glover will once again embody the titular character, Lando Calrissian. In another interview with Vulture, Steven Glover said that Donald had emphasized the importance to him of pushing innovation and not being constricted by the limitations of the studio system. So it seems that they intend to implement their own and particularly creative vision regarding the character with the planned movie. The Lando project will be part of a whole series of Star Wars films that Disney currently has up its sleeve. In addition to Star Wars 10, New Jedi Order, with Daisy Ridley as Rey Skywalker, there will also be a film by Taika Waititi, a prequel about the first Jedi by James Mangold, and a trilogy by Rian Johnson. Rambo is so famous that his name has even made it into the dictionary. The role is immortally linked to Sylvester Stallone, but he's not getting any younger. Now the actor has spoken out at the Toronto Film Festival about a possible sixth part in the series. Rambo 5: Last Blood, the final part of the popular Rambo series for the time being, was released in 2019, but it fell short of expectations. The action film received catastrophic reviews and also failed to live up to its predecessor, Rambo 4, with a worldwide box office result of $90 million. Since then, it's been quiet around the movie series. In the recent festival interview, Stallone expressed little motivation for a return to the character in another solo film. Rambo, I could leave him. He's done pretty much, even though they want to do another one, but what am I fighting? Arthritis? With this, Stallone may have expressed exactly what some of his fans are feeling, as they have been vocal about the fact that the character should finally enjoy his retirement after the fifth part. However, Stallone also reported that plans for another Rambo film are currently being worked on. He did have a prequel about the Vietnam War in mind, in which the role of John Rambo would be played by another actor. But according to the latest plans, there will be some kind of sequel, which will be about a potential successor to Stallone. According to him, the studio's intention is for him to pass the torch in this film. So it looks like John Rambo will return one last time to pass the baton to the next generation. We are looking forward to more news and will keep you posted. It would be a sensation. According to reports, director Tim Burton has cast none other than Johnny Depp in an unknown role for his sequel, Beetlejuice 2. His involvement in the second story of the scary comedy would thus represent the 9th collaboration between the two. According to Giant Freakin' Robot, Johnny Depp is said to be part of the cast of Beetlejuice 2 and could thus celebrate his comeback in a major Hollywood production. In the wake of the media war with his ex-wife Amber Heard, Depp initially fell out of favor with film studios and was seen less and less often in prominent roles. Already in November of last year, Tim Burton expressed his interest in a new collaboration with Johnny Depp to the Reuters agency. He left open, however, which project it would be. The last collaboration of the two was the 2012 released vampire comedy Dark Shadows, more than 11 years ago. Now it sounds like they found a good opportunity to team up again with the sequel to the 1988 classic Beetlejuice. However, it remains unclear in which role Depp will return. According to the latest casting report, the actor will make a cameo appearance, which means his role is unlikely to be a big one. In addition to Johnny Depp, Batman star Michael Keaton will be seen in the lead role, as well as Winona Ryder and Wednesday star Jenna Ortega. Beetlejuice 2 will be released on September 6, 2024. The Toxic Avenger is considered one of the most unusual heroes in the history of cinema, and is a cult figure, especially among fans of the trash genre. Now a reboot with Game of Thrones star Peter Dinklage in the leading role is being released, and new images present us with a cast that is well worth having a look at. The Toxic Avenger reboot celebrated its world premiere on September 21st in the context of the Austin Fantastic Fest. On this occasion, Entertainment Weekly has now published a series of new images that may put you in the mood for the trashy spectacle. Elijah Wood, who will embody the movie's villain and leave a lasting impression, deserves a special mention here. The look of the character is likely to be reminiscent of the Penguin embodied by Danny DeVito in Tim Burton's Batman Returns. This is no coincidence. According to director Malcolm Blair, the character was actually inspired by it, along with a touch of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Likewise, we get a look at Peter Dinklage. He wears a suit coat, a black mask, and a pink ballet tutu, a teaser of the film's peculiar tone. Jacob Tremblay, Taylor Page, and Kevin Bacon are also introduced, as well as a bunch of masked and armed men. These in turn are somewhat reminiscent of the Purge series or Todd Phillips' Joker. When it comes to violence and nastiness, the reboot won't spare anyone either. After all, the film was given an R rating for abundant violence, nudity, profanity, and sexual innuendo, very much in keeping with the tradition of its predecessors. The Toxic Avenger is currently being screened at various international festivals. We can't wait to find out whether the star-studded trash film will make its way into theaters. The end for El Muerto. Sony's Spider-Man universe was supposed to expand with the planned solo movie of the villain. However, nothing will come of it for the time being, as the main actor left the project. Sony's Spider-Man universe is booming, and fans can look forward to a whole series of new projects next year. In addition to the third part of Tom Hardy's Venom, the eagerly awaited Kraven the Hunter will follow. Likewise, Madam Web, embodied by Dakota Johnson, will make her debut next year. Besides these movies, however, a rather unknown villain was to get his own big screen appearance, namely Juan Carlos Sanchez, alias El Muerto. The masked wrestler, with superhuman abilities, was to be played by singer and Bullet Train star Bad Bunny, who has now unexpectedly left the project. The actor's decision was met with surprise, because, after all, Bunny always raved about his role. In an interview with comicbook.com, for example, he announced that he wanted to make people proud and that he was very happy regarding his character. However, rumors also regularly made the rounds that there had been disagreements between him and the studio. The current actor strike might also have contributed to this, since the film was actually supposed to start its production this summer. So it remains unclear for now whether we will actually see El Muerto on the big screen in the near future and who will play him in the end. That's it for this week's news, and here is our next cinema highlights. If you're interested in Transformers 1 releasing in 2024 or Alita Battle Angel 2, you shouldn't miss our latest movie previews here on our channel. We thank you for watching and see you next week for more Hollywood news.